seeds that I bought. Let me get them out for us and we'll take a look at them. Okay, let's get my containers out. I have some containers here that I saved. Some stuff I have to work with here. Here's my seeds that I'm going to be working with. Let's see. I'm going to do a little batch of these. They're called Johnny Jump Ups. They're so pretty. Look at that. I hope they do. I don't know how many seeds are in here, but we're about to find out. And I also have some petunias because these did so well in my garden last year. These, all of these that I have are supposed to do well in partial shade. And these did do very well in the partially shaded area that I'm working with. They did very well last year. And these kind also do well in the partial shade, the coleus. And these are different kinds, supposedly, in this seed mix. So I'm hoping I'll get a lot of colors out of it. Okay, so I have, that's all of them. I'm just doing those 3 different kinds. And I'm going to be using some little containers that I saved. Okay. I got 3 different containers because I have 3 different seed types. So I have this one. This one's a bit bigger. This is my medium-sized one, and this is my small one. Now this one, some strawberries came in, and it has a lot of little holes in the bottom on the sides. So I brought a paper towel that I'm going to do. Let's see if I can open this up. Okay. And I'm just going to do the paper towel down in the bottom of it like this so that the sides here, so that all my dirt doesn't fall out of those little slits. Now there are some on the sides, on these more narrow sides also, but I'm not going to worry about those. I'm just going to put my little paper towel in there. It's a little half paper towel. You know how they sell them nowadays with the, you can tear them in half. So that's what I've got going with that one. And I'm just going to open them all up. And I'm going to angle you guys a little more toward where you can see what's going on. I might have to change my camera a little bit. I don't know. It looks like it's okay like it is. And I have some potting soil mixed up, which what I used was some peat moss, perlite, and something else. And I don't have that bag in here, do I? Yes, I do. Let me show you. I can show you exactly what I'm using here. Vermiculite. That's the other thing that I'm putting in it. Vermiculite. Let's see if there's any left in the bag that I could show you. Here's some of it. You see that? That's the vermiculite. Okay. Put that back in there. And let's see. What does it say about this? Improves moisture and nutrient retention. So that's very good. Very good. Promotes faster seed emergence, proper aeration for superior root growth. Mix 50-50 with perlite for use in hydroponic. Well, we're not doing hydroponic, so. Okay, so I'm using some of that. And the perlite. This is the perlite that I'm using. It came in this bag. I got it at Lowe's. And like I said, it's perlite. It also provides proper aeration and drainage. And I got a big bale of the peat moss. But anyhow, I got all of those, and Mr. E mixed them up for me together in this 5-gallon bucket. And that's what I'm going to be putting in these little containers to get my seeds stored in. So let me grab a cup or something to help me, which I have plenty of stuff in here. We'll use this cup right here, it's fine. And start filling up some of these containers. All right, here we go. All right, I guess I don't need to put a whole lot of soil in these. Let me see if this one has any drainage holes. You see, this one doesn't even have drainage holes like the strawberry container did. So I'm gonna need to put me some drainage into this. Hey, Jack. So I probably will put the drainage into it a little later. I do have this. I don't know if it would split it though. I think I would need to like heat it and then put it through. So yeah, I'm gonna wait on that. I'm not gonna go and split my containers because I'm in a hurry. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. We all do stuff sometimes because we get in a hurry and it actually makes more work for us. You ever heard the old saying, haste makes waste? Well, I'm actually a big believer in that. Now this soil's a little on the cool side, but it's been outside. And I mean, not last night, but the last 2 nights before that, it was like 30 degrees at night. And this stuff was in the greenhouse, so it did get kind of cold, you know. Okay, I don't want to overdo it on the dirt, but I don't want to underdo it either. I'm going to put a little bit more. Okay, that's probably enough for that container. So I have 2 of my containers filled. I'm a kind of lazy gardener, guys. Most people may, I don't know, use little cups, individual containers, you know, kind of like these. You see this here? I could do that, you know, and have individual plants. But I guess I'm kind of on the lazy side. So I'm just going to do all my seeds in this. And when they start coming up, I'll start, you know, transplanting them into something different. Because really, I don't know if my seeds are even going to come up. They're for this year, so they should come up. Let's get a little bit more of this soil. All right, y'all. Here it is. There we go. I'm getting hot in here. It's kind of cool. It's not really cool outside. It's probably in the 60s today. It's supposed to get up into the 70s today as the day goes on. But in this greenhouse, it's kind of warm. There's no breeze blowing through here. The wind's blowing outside. But it's nice and still in here. Which I can open the windows to let a little air in, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to kind of shed my long sleeves. Now, that's better. Okay. All right, that's looking pretty good. So that's all the dirt I'm going to need. Move that out of my way. In case y'all wondering what the rest of the greenhouse looks like, I'll move y'all just a little bit. Hopefully won't lose connection. Okay, you see, got some other seeds and stuff going over here. These are Mr. E's tomato plants. And there's a little bit of stuff coming up here, but there's not a whole lot going on. Like, oops, sorry about the noise. There's some tomatoes coming up, but not many. Now look, my door opened. Come here, door. Oh, that wind is so bad. Whew. Lord, got some bad wind today. All right, let's move back onto our project here, and I'll move y'all down just a little tiny bit like that. Now y'all can see better, huh? That's good. Okay. So we have 3 containers, like I said, and I want to see how much seeds is in this thing. The little Johnny Jump Ups. I got these at Walmart for $1.96 for a pack of these little seeds. They're the Fairy Morse brand. I don't usually do seeds like this, y'all, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. But I will show y'all. That's how many seeds comes in that pack. That's what I'm getting for my $1.96, okay, on the Johnny Jump Ups. So since I have least amount of these seeds, I'm guessing the coleus might be even less. We better check those before I proceed, because there's it doesn't look like a lot of seeds, but they're extremely tiny. It's gonna make more plants than you think. So let's look at the coleus and see how many seeds they're giving us for $1.96. It's also the Fairy Morse, and I also got these at Walmart. Let's see what they giving us in this one. It does say the weight on here, doesn't it? Okay, it looks like it's giving us a little more weight, but woo, those seeds are tiny also. Oh, and I just dropped one, two. Okay, so y'all see those little tiny seeds? Okay, guys, that's the coleus. We're just going to save our bigger tray for the petunias. And I'm going to move this tray forward for now. And the taller one I'm going to put here. These are the coleus. I'm going to just kind of scatter them in here. Some very tiny seeds. But whatever comes up, comes up. I'll try to make some plants out of them. Surely I don't need 100 plants of these for my little sitting area. Like I said, I'm a kind of lazy gardener to start with, so I don't want 100 plants that I'm going to have to fool with. Although that was a lot of seeds, you know. Alright, so I just kind of tapped into it and barely covered them. Because I think these, they probably... Look, and I left some seeds in there. Okay, that's all of them. Planting depth 1/8 of an inch. And it's saying that for my area in Louisiana to plant March through September. So I'm a little bit early, but I am doing it in the greenhouse. So that should compensate for the time. And it should give me some nice little new plants early on. And I'm just going to cover it like this so that the heat can build up in here in this greenhouse and help those seeds to germinate. I will come back with some water, but I don't want to water them with a big watering can. I'm probably going to come back and just spray them. And that'll help them to germinate. Now this, I want to make sure that all my dirt is to the edges, because I don't want my seeds to go down to the bottom there. Okay. And since these over here was my coleus, I'm going to just set that on top of there until I can label it a little bit better, because I don't want to leave that on top of there. It's going to block the light, of course. That makes sense. And we'll do our Johnny Jump Up seeds, and let's see, 1/8 of an inch deep. Alright, so these need to be a little bit deeper, not much at all. Out of all those seeds, I ought to get something, right? I love that purple and yellow together. That is so pretty. Absolutely love it. These are the Johnny Jump Ups. Miss Lindsay. That's what this is. Let's see. Hey, class master. So, I'm excited about these. I really am. I love that color. Okay, so that's going to go on this one until I can change it. I'll probably cut this off, or I actually have some pens that you're supposed to be able to write on stuff in the garden, and it doesn't fade so bad. So I may try those. I sure may try those. I think that would be a good idea. I had found those. I didn't even know they made that. But every year they have a clearance sale, you know, at the end of the year at Walmart. And this year I actually called it. I just happened to go on that day and they was having it. And they had a bunch of stuff out there. And one of the things was those markers I was talking about. And I'm excited to use them because in all the years before, when we would plant stuff in the garden and like would have different kind of pepper varieties, Mr. E would take some electrical tape, some white electrical tape, because he was an electrician and he had all different colors of electrical tape. Well, he had some white one, and he used that in the garden on his garden post, and he would label that white paint or that white tape, whatever kind of variety it was, you know. And it lasted real good. He used a permanent marker, and it lasted pretty good, but it never lasted through the season. Never. So we're going to put these little markers that's claiming that they can last through the season in the garden outside, because permanent marker never made that claim, you know. But anyway, we're going to try that. Now, let's go with our pelleted. These are pelleted. The other ones that I planted, they were not pelleted. These are the petunias. And I ended up, the day that I bought my seeds, I bought the Johnny Jump Ups, the coleus, and a pack of the petunias. Well, after I got home with them, I realized that the pack of petunias says there's 15 seeds in it. I mean, even if I have 15, if they all make 15 petunia plants, is really too much even for me. But I'm thinking, you know what? They might not all make it because I don't have the green thumb like Mr. E does. And next time I had went to Walmart, I went and got 2 more packs of them just for a little insurance. It's still going to be cheaper than buying the plants. The plants are so expensive. Oh, man. I said, well, I do want some flowers because many years ago, my mom, she always planted flowers in her yard. She always had real flowers, you know. And when I got on my own, I loved the flowers and everything like she did. And I planted real flowers, you know. But I would go to the nurseries and I would get 6 packs of them. Kind of like this, what comes in this, you know, this kind of container. And I would get several different kinds, but they were affordable. I mean, you could get a 6-pack for $2 or something like that. And I mean, you could really do a lot of planting like that. But it's not inexpensive like that anymore. And also, sometimes life gets so busy, you don't even have time to water your flowers or tend to any of that. Have fun planting them and everything. But some of those years when I felt like that, I would go to the Dollar Tree and I would buy fake flowers, and I would just put them down in my green plants, which I usually have a lot of green plants. And I'll just show you these that I have right here on the ground. See these? They all have greenery on them, except that one petunia plant. I mean, it has greenery, yeah, but it also has flowers. The other ones don't make flowers. They just stay green like that. Well, what I would do is I would buy some little fake flowers and just put them down into with the greenery, and it would make a nice looking plant. The only problem with that is when the bees come to them or the hummingbirds come to them, there's nothing in them, the fake flowers. And I really didn't like that.
I really didn't like that part about the fake flowers. I like that you didn't have to water them. I like that you could make them look real. If you worked with them enough, you could make them look real, like putting them in those real green plants, the little flowers. They look like a real plant. But I didn't like that the bees wasn't getting what they needed out of them, or the hummingbirds weren't either. And I like to see the hummingbirds come around. I